All right, guys, for today's video, I'm going to be going over the essential budget backpacking gear list. This is going to get you started. This is everything you have to have in order to go backpacking comfortably on a budget, right? And when I say budget, I don't mean like what some of these big YouTubers say budget. This is probably all under like $500, okay? It's going to cover all your essentials. Obviously, there's going to be some more gear you might want, but everything you have to have is going to be in this bag here. And I will have links to everything in the video description below. If you want to see individual product reviews, I have a lot of these products reviewed on my channel, so go ahead and check those out. I'll also have those linked below. But anyways, guys, let's get into it. So starting out here, we have the TETON Sports Scout 65 bag here. It's a 65-liter pack. Pretty good budget backpack, very comfortable. I do have a video about this pack in specific, but I think this runs about you $90, something like that. Pretty budget friendly. Got a lot of straps, got a lot of pockets. Definitely big enough, definitely comfortable enough. My favorite feature here is the adjustable back length. So if you're a taller feller, you can extend it. If you're shorter, you can decrease it. It's got the comfortable hip pads, decent airflow, gets the job done for sure, and plenty big. I don't really have issues with that. Next thing we have here, we're gonna start in the bottom of this pack, and we're gonna have our tent. Okay, this is the Featherstone tent. I usually bring a two-man because two-man gives you a little more room. One-man gets a little cramped, but let's set this to the side here. So we got the Featherstone tent here. This comes with the tent, stakes. I'll have a picture with the full-size tent here, but very small, very compact, about as budget-friendly quality tent as you're gonna get without going to the super cheap ones and without spending much money. It's a good mid-range tent. I recommend it highly. I very much enjoy it. It is out of stock often, so you might have to wait for that, but super light, super compact, very durable. The zippers work really well too, which is surprising. Usually tents you gotta struggle with it. Work great on this bad boy. And with the two-man, it is big enough for two people if you have to, and one person, it's super comfortable. Anyways, that's the tent I use, Featherstone tent. I think it's about $120. Next thing we're gonna pull out of this pack here is I have, we'll come back to that. That is just a pump. I have this Camelback. I got this thing for like 10 bucks on Amazon. Pretty much any water sack will do. This one was the one I used. It was a cheap, easy one. I'm not gonna get too in detail with that, but you're gonna need hydration of some kind. You could use this. I also use an Nalgene water bottle, but I like this for when I'm hiking into my spots. Okay, let's set that to the side. Next up, I got this little travel backpack. This is a very underrated piece of gear, especially if you're gonna be going to a spot for an extended period of time. And what this is here is this is actually a backpack. So if I pull it out here, it stuffs into itself. But it's a full-size backpack, or a day pack, I guess you could call it. But it folds into its own pocket here, and it's big enough, right, where you can fit your water, your snacks, your food, all that fun stuff. You don't need this, but I highly recommend it, especially if you're gonna be going to extended stay spots where you go to like a lake or like you go to your campsite and there's like 4 lakes nearby, you're gonna go to each one each day. I like packing a small pack like this, so you don't have to lug around this big heavy thing, and you can still take your gear, your fishing stuff, your water, your cook set, all that stuff can easily fit in this little pack here, and it packs up very small and compact, as you guys saw earlier. Just kind of folds it on itself, but you know, a small compact bag like this is super nice to have, super handy. You know, it fits a lot. I want to say it's like a 20-liter pack, something like that. They have different sizes. Use what you want, but I use this one. Works really well for what I want to use it for. And then, like I said, if you're just going around from place to place, really nice to have a little pack. So that's first. Next thing here, we have the Trekology Sleeping Mat. It's about 3 inches thick, very comfortable, only about $40. Not good R value, so I wouldn't recommend this one if you're gonna be doing any kind of winter or cold camping. If you're in the summer though, it works great. Super cheap, super affordable, super comfortable. It's got a little bow to it too if you're a back seat. It kind of keeps you on the mat nice. Easy to pump up. This product here is a accessory you can purchase for it, which is basically just a pump sack for this one. Helps you inflate it a little faster, a little easier. So that's the sleeping mat I use, the Trekology ultralight sleeping mat is what it's called. Good sleeping mat, gets the job done for sure. Next thing here, I have a little pillow here, the Hikenture pillow. I think it's about 25 bucks, something like that, but way more comfortable than not having a pillow. It takes about 3 breaths to fill up. It has a little strap on the back to attach to the mat. Basically just makes sleeping a lot more comfortable. Next up, we have our sleeping quilt. So this OneTigris sleeping quilt, again, I'll have a video if you want the full review on this product. Pretty compact, pretty small. decently warm. It's not going to keep you warm in the winter. It's going to be mild and uncomfortable in the fall. In the summer, you should be just fine. I would say 60 degrees is probably your comfortability limit. If you're going anything colder than that, you're going to want to bundle up a little under it or get a better bag. But for budget, this is the way to go. It is a quilt too, so you know it's a little more comfortable, especially if you're a stomach sleeper. Highly recommend quilts. If you're a back sleeper, not as big a deal, but I'm a big dude and I sleep on my stomach, so I really hate sleeping bags because I can't spread out as much as I'd like. But you can spread out as much as you want in this, and it's going to keep you warm enough. For sure, as far as budget goes, it's probably one of your better options, the OneTigris camping quilt. Next up on the list, I believe that's it for the main sack of the bag. And then I use the Katadyn BeFree water filter. It works pretty well. I did have one issue with it getting, so I used it one trip, worked phenomenally, works very quickly as far as filtering water. And then on my second trip, I guess I didn't clean it out good enough. It was really struggling to get through. So what I did is I filtered into one bottle, dumped out this, put the filtered water back into it, switched it around, and now it works great again. So super easy to self-clean. You don't need an extra, like the Sawyer squeezes, you need an extra filter. This is the one system. It is a 1 liter bag too, so you don't necessarily need another bottle. I recommend having another bottle, but this is enough technically to get the job done. But you are going to want a filter of some kind to get water. You don't want to be carrying in water, way too heavy if you can avoid it. So get a 1 liter, Katadyn BeFree, going to work great. There's some cheaper options. That's the one I use because I like it. I think spend a little money on a good filter is worth it. And then lastly here, we have my cook system here. I got a full review on this system as well. I have the fire maple pot. Nice and compact, pretty light, holds everything in it. Open this bad boy up, take the lid out, and I have the Camping Moon stove here. It is self-igniting. Okay, it's got a little clicker on there to ignite. Pretty easy to adjust. Very, very fuel efficient this setup is. You can probably boil water 20 times in one little can. I just use this little buff, as a little hot pad if I need it. Also keeps this from rattling around as much, kind of nice. This actually came with my Camelback, so it's nice to have one of these just as a little rag too, cleaning. Anyways, another essential piece here is this little tripod stand for the cook stove. This 4-prong one works great with pot. However, it doesn't work so great with the fire maple pot because it sits on top. This one here will go underneath it much more nicely. We'll get in that in a second. And then your fuel canister, you have to buy that separate. But these little ones fit in here perfectly, and you're gonna get 20, 30 boils out of it, no problem. This thing just slides onto here, no problem like that. You'll screw this into this, and then this you can just set on top. It fits in there nicely, just like so. And because this fits inside of it like that, you're gonna get way more efficient boiling. This thing boils very quickly, which is not only faster, also saves you fuel, which saves you weight. So anyways, cannot recommend this whole setup enough. This is the gear that you absolutely have to have if you're gonna go backpacking, right? You can get more. I guess this is an extra. You don't need this, but I recommend it. You don't need this, but I recommend it. But you need everything else in order to backpack comfortably, and this is probably the best budget options you're gonna find. I think this whole kit will probably run you about $500, if that. That tent's gonna run you about $120, bags are running about $90. The setup here for food is probably like $70. Pillow was like $20, the mat was like $40, and I want to say this bag was like $60. So overall, not too bad. I think you're gonna make it less than $500 or in that ballpark, depending on sales and stuff like that. And if you want to go backpacking, check it out. Again, I'll have links in the description. If you guys like the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.